Whatever. Let's get into the Lost Rewatch, ladies and gentlemen. The Lost Rewatch. Actually, before I get into the Lost Rewatch, after we'll have this episode on Sunday, you'll have the Nick Baxter episode on Thursday. Next Sunday, you'll have a brand new emblem for the show because Nikki Baxter, Mr. Bear Burger Beach Bod Extraordinaire Buddy back from the dead, I don't even know where I was going with that, made me an emblem for the show. And it is pretty fucking cool. He sent it to me and I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. I'm going to be using that. So if you're watching the video, you can see it a little bit. I can't figure this thing out. I can't do it because of the wire. It's backwards, but whatever. You can see it on the podcast. Yeah. It's going to be the new emblem. I'm pretty excited. It's pretty Lost related. It's fun. I'm excited to eventually share it. I'm not sure why I'm not sharing it immediately. It's just because I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't know how to do anything. I took a picture with Chris and I forgot to put it as like the banner for the episode with Karaoke Chris, and then I forgot to get a picture with Nick. So who fucking knows, man? I don't know what I'm doing at the time. Anyways, Lost update. 3 episodes. We had Expose, we had Left Behind, and we had One of Us. One bad episode. It's not good. One fine episode. It's fine. That's why I called it fine. And then one pretty good episode. Expose is about Nikki and Paolo in response to everybody hating Nikki and Paolo during the Hydra arc, which is kind of weird because they really didn't do much. Nikki was pretty annoying the time Hurley comes back and she just berates him for not telling them more. She's like, dude, the guy just went through a traumatic experience. Calm down. He'll tell you when he's ready. When he can figure stuff out. It's like, what are you talking about, Hurley? What are you talking about? That's from King of the Hill. I love King of the Hill. The Bulldozer. No, so like this is where they kill him off. It's 100% filler. There, you can skip this episode. The only thing important about this episode is that Charlie reveals the son, that he's the one that dragged her off and like attacked her in season 2, and like made it seem like the others did it, so him and Sawyer could steal the guns. Like that's the only thing that's important in this episode is that happens, which makes it more important to the grand scheme of things than Stranger in a Strange Land, because that episode had fucking nothing going for it in terms of importance. This at least had that. It kills off 2 episodes, but 2 characters, but who fucking cares? Neither one. I mean, it was pointless filler for pointless characters. They were pointless. By the end, I felt bad for Paolo. Because it's kind of like I think there's enough there. I mean, Rodrigo Santoro's had good work since then. I've always liked Keely Sanchez and other shows that I've seen her in, like The Glades. And there was a show called Legend that was on FX, I think. We had one of the Jonas Brothers and the one dude who was good in Warrior, but then made like MMA schlock all the time, or like action movie schlock. I can't remember his name. He was like in the Purge shit movies, which was like, I watched one of them. And then they made a second one. I watched like 10 minutes. I'm like, this is the dumbest set of movies that's gotten like 8 movies ever. It's horrible. They're fucking horrible movies. Whatever. Anyway, the best part of this episode is Billy D. Williams. Billy D. Williams shows up at the very beginning. It's wonderful. It shows that Nikki is an actress who was on a show called Expose, and Hurley loves the show. And he was like all excited about reading the script. It was fun. But it's just not good. I like the cameos. The cameos are cool. Seeing Ian Somerhalder, Maggie Grace show back up. Dr. Arts shows back up. Ethan shows up, which I'll talk a little bit more about Ethan here when I talk about One of Us. I like all those things, but there's some things I hate. I hate the fact that Nikki and Paolo found the Pearl Station before everybody else did, or found the beach plane before everybody else did. And I hate that. I hate that those 2 pointless people found it before Locke and Boone did. It's stupid. It's just dumb. They played in well. I do like how they kind of they made their deaths, they made certain scenes early in the season like more meaningful for this episode. Like when they decided to go to the Pearl Station, Paolo had went there to hide the diamonds they stole at the beginning of the episode. Like I said, I really don't give a shit. I'm not going to go deep in this episode at all. They stole diamonds. Paolo hides the diamonds in the Pearl Station, and then they want to go to the Pearl Station like everybody does. And he's like, oh, and that's why he's like, why do you want to go? So they make it seem a little more meaningful. That wasn't the plan. I don't think it was. Then it's a creepy ass ending. it is creepy. So the whole episode, Nikki finds out Paolo's been lying about these diamonds. Nikki's horrible this whole episode. She's not a good person at all. There's like, even if they kept her around, she was just awful. Like, just selfish. It just oh, God, horrible. Just not, like, nothing really Keely Sanchez could do with it. Like, it's just too one note and just no depth in it. Just a bad person. Whereas I think Paolo had, like, you know, he's trying to recover. Like, you could do a redemption arc with Paolo, you know, somebody who's been, you say you kill Nikki, and, like, you know, he's not been this great person, all this stuff, and he's just trying to find his, you know, he's always been manipulated or, you know, never had a choice in what he's done. At least that's how it's presented. You could have done that, which it doesn't matter. Like, you know, they kill him anyway. But there's a spider. It's called the Medusa spider. It bites Paolo, paralyzes him, and it paralyzes Nikki afterwards. The males do because the pheromones. And it paralyzes for 8 hours and makes you seem like they're dead. So at the end of the episode, Hurley and Sawyer bury the two of them alive. I'm not fucking kidding you. Two of our heroes bury two people alive. I know, unbeknownst to them, but they still do it. And it's creepy, and it's fucking weird. It is super fan servicey. Just like people, I remember how much people hated Nikki and Paolo, and I did not like them either. Because they were just kind of like, the way Sawyer's treating them. Who even are you? Which was weird, because there was like people who were like clamoring about all these background characters we don't get to know. So they made Nikki and Paolo to like, oh, we have other background characters we can introduce. And I'll do that. And then they introduce them like, this is not what we meant. No, but dude, it's a fucking weird. I'd give it like a 5.5 out of 10. It's not as fun as I used to think it was. There's like no B plot. Like, there's no Jack, Sawyer, Kate. Like, you know, the last episode ended with the blowing up of the submarine. And there is nothing in this episode that has anything to do with that. And, you know, the last episode ends with Locke finding his dad on the island. Nothing. Not a mention, no check-in, nothing. It's not very good. Like, you know, you have, I don't think Sun basically threatens Sawyer with Jen, telling Jen that, you know, Sawyer and Charlie attacked her or whatever. And I don't think that ends up going anywhere. Like, you know, there's an evil look in the next episode, but doesn't go anywhere at all. So it's, you know, it's just an end to evil Charlie, evil Sawyer for nothing. Next episode, like I said, 5.5 for expose. Not a great episode, but there's parts of it that are fun. And like I said, it has more importance than Stranger in Strangeland, just for like one little moment. At least it, like, kind of takes care of one thing. Stranger in Strangeland did nothing. Nothing. God, I'm going to get into another rant about how horrible I hate that. I hate that episode. It's so stupid. I fucking hate it. Anyway, next episode is Left Behind. It is a solid Kate episode. She meets Cassidy from Sawyer's flashbacks, and that's where Cassidy talks about being pregnant, which we already knew she had a kid because of Sawyer's flashback earlier in the season, so I'm not sure if that was a big revelation. I don't know. Whatever. I don't get why everybody gives such a shit that Kate killed her abusive stepfather. Everybody is so, like, disgusted that she would do such a thing. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, you know, I can understand her mom not, you know, I loved him no matter what. I understand that. Some people, sadly, in abusive situations, get Stockholm Syndrome or whatever you want to call it, where they just, you know, they sympathize with the abuser and all that stuff. I can see that. But why the fuck are they sending, like, U.S. Marshals? Why are they spending millions and millions and millions and millions of tax dollars to try to catch this one chick who killed her abusive stepfather in a trailer in Iowa? It's not like her stepfather was some millionaire. He was like trailer trash. Do you like? I'm from Portsmouth, Ohio. I'm from Scioto County. The government does not give a fuck about trailer trash. They don't give a fuck about poor people. So they're gonna send U.S. Marshals to take care of Kate's dad, because come get Kate because she killed her abusive stepfather, drunk trailer trash stepfather? That doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't get why they harp on it so much. Like, Locke's like, oh, I argued about how you're a good person, but then they told me what you did. Yeah, Locke, shut the I don't know. It's just, I don't know. They try so hard for some reason to make that seem like a believable thing that it just drives me up the wall. Kate's back stuff is just weirdly unbelievable. Like, they sent U.S. Marshals to different countries to find this woman who killed her trailer trash stepfather, I'm sorry. Blew him up. It'd be different if I don't know. It's so weird that people, like, they get so caught up on, like, I can't believe you did this kind of understandable thing. You know, I do like the mom's line of, like, you know, you didn't do it for me. Whatever you did for yourself. You know, calling Kate selfish. And Kate running and always wanting to see her, and, you know, I don't know. It's not great. It's fine. It's fine. Kate is not nearly as bad as I remember. I remember, like, the first season, like, when I watched it live, and when I would rewatch it from time to time, Kate was so annoying. She was just a fuck up waiting to happen. She always got involved in every plan, and every time she did, she screwed the plan up. Like, you know what I mean? She always somehow screwed the plans up. And it was infuriating. And she always somehow got her way without earning it. She was never great. She's not nearly as bad now. I used to think, like, season 4 is when it turns with Kate, and then she becomes a much better character. When she gets Aaron and all that stuff, she starts becoming a better character. And by the end, she's one of the better characters on the show. By the end of season 6, by the end of the show. But she's not that bad. Like, her flashbacks, like I said, has the logic issues, whatever. On Island, she's not nearly as troublesome, even though she does fuck up a plan this episode, is what I'm saying, by, you know, not listening to Jack. But at the same time, if she told Jack to not come back, Jack's fucking coming. He's, you know, if she tells Jack, leave me alone, don't come back for me, Jack's coming back to get her. So, I mean, I can't sit there and hate on Kate for this one if I know Jack would have done the same thing, you know. There's some smoke monster stuff. The smoke monster is so weird. It's weird. It's like this weird catch-all. It's whatever it needs, whatever the plot needs it to be is what it does. Like, sometimes it seems like it's animalistic. Sometimes it seems like it's a mechanical thing. Sometimes it's like this weird mythological, like, God type thing that's like looking into your memories. I don't know. There's no consistency. And then by the end, like, you don't really get why it's all those different things by the end. So, I mean, I'm glad to see it. I always like to see the smoke monster and getting that roar or whatever. The whole episode, Kate and Juliet are handcuffed together as they try to make Juliet seem like a trustworthy person, and then she has the key the whole time, and, you know, she is basically coming to infiltrate our survivors of the plane crash. It's pretty obvious the whole way. I kind of forgot some of this until about halfway through the next episode. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, Juliet's here to kind of spy. I forgot about that. But there's a great... The B plot is fun. It's a lot of fun. It's Sawyer and Hurley. Hurley telling Sawyer that they're going to vote him out of the group because of the trying to steal the diamonds from Nikki off her dead body. But he tells him that, and he makes Sawyer do all these, like, nice things. Sawyer still can't use his nickname, so it's fun. I'll get to how the next episode makes this whole B plot stupid here in a few minutes. But it's fun to watch. Hugo Hurley, what's his name? Jorge Garcia and Josh Holloway. They had great chemistry. Like, I always thought they were fun when they were together. This is another transitional episode that's just there. It's just kind of pushing things along a little bit. You finally get Jack and Kate together back at the end. This is when I start kind of realizing that Locke has hardly been in this season at all. And I looked it up. He's only in like 13 of the 24 episodes of season 3, which is crazy. Crazy. Especially the way they set him up at the beginning of the season. They seem like it's going to be like this really great Locke, like Locke returning to season 1, like super intriguing, mythological type of thing going on with him, and then he's barely in shit. Which, you know, obviously in this late run here, you're going to have the Brig, you're going to have Man Behind the Curtain, you're going to have, there's one right there at the end that I can't think of off the top of my head. But, whatever. Obviously Through the Looking Glass, Ghost Walt, all that fun stuff. That you're going to have some good stuff with Locke, but it seems weird that he's been so absent this season. Same thing with Saeed. Saeed has been hardly in anything all season. Like, you know, he kind of did this, and he's been, you know, he kind of is playing around, like, telling Alex that he knows her mom, whatever. Yeah. It's weird. This is a 7.5 episode. This is like a C plus. Like, it's fine. It's watchable. It transitions. It does its job. Is most importantly. It doesn't do anything mind blowing. Outside of doing another fun connection of Kate meeting Sawyer's baby mom and Sawyer's one-time target of a con. And it's always great to see Kim Dickens. I love Kim Dickens. She's a fantastic actress. And then the last episode tonight for the Lost Rewatch is One of Us. It is a Juliet episode. It is a very good episode, probably a BB plus, 8.5 in that range. It is a good episode. Elizabeth Mitchell is so perfect in this role. She is so perfect. Like, her eyes are so piercing. It is fantastic for what this character kind of is, where you kind of are not 100% sure what she truly wants. Like, she wants off the island, but is she also there to kind of push the others' agenda along? It's good. I really love Elizabeth Mitchell. I like the paranoia between like Kate and Sawyer, or Kate and Saeed constantly looking at each other about Juliet, and like kind of what's her true intentions here. The whole plot of like Claire getting sick. I thought at first it was like one of those things where Claire was sick, and then it turns out to be nothing. And it's going to be this weird promo that they did. They did this like Stranger where we get all these answers. And I think in season 4, Jack has his appendix burst, and they make a big deal about it in the promos before the episode. They were like, "Oh, the doctor has, as the doctor on the island, he's taking care of gunshots, blah blah. But he's finally met his match, and it's like maybe he might die." And like. And you find out his appendix burst. It's so stupid. But no, I like this episode. I'm 50-50, though, on the flashbacks of Juliet, with Ethan being, like, super nice, friendly guy. It's weird, because, like, the dynamic he created in the first season is this sinister kind of, like, what the fuck is this guy? And every time you see him in these flashbacks, he's, like, just this really nice neighborly guy, and it's so weird. It's always been kind of my issue with the others, is that all the odd, like, kind of weird kind of supernatural promise they had at the beginning, I guess is a way to say it, to kind of being these normal people who live on an island by season 3. Though you do have Richard, who's like ageless. But yeah, I don't know, I'm 50-50. I love William Apother. Like, he plays both those roles pretty well. Being like this, you believe him both ways. Like, he's this fucking kind of intense, like, killer that he is in the first season. He's also like this really friendly kind of sidekick guy in the third season. And I thought it shows that Goodwin and Juliet had a relationship. And I swear Ben takes Juliet to see Goodwin's body. Did I somehow miss this entire scene in this episode? Because it doesn't make sense to see it any other time. So maybe it's there somewhere in a different episode. Or maybe I just completely missed that scene. But I swear there's a scene where he takes Juliet to see Goodwin's body after Ana Lucia kills Goodwin. I swear that happens. But you had the fun stuff in this episode where Ben reveals that nobody gets cancer on the island, and he can cure his Juliet's sister's cancer, which came back off island if she stays. So he manipulates her into staying by curing her sister's cancer and improves it. But in between, that's when you find out Ben has that tumor in his back, and that's why she doesn't believe him. She believes he's full of shit and calls him a liar, and she doesn't like that. So he shows her that her mother, or that her sister's still alive and actually had the baby. And you have that nice moment of like they shut it off, and like Juliet like freaks because she wants so bad to get off the island. Nobody wants off the island more than Juliet, which is really cool. Adds that little fun layer to the others of not just being the cult within itself or whatever it's supposed to be. They have these outsiders who also do not want to be there, who are stuck. You have like Alex, Carl, Juliet. Those are the top 3 off the top of my head, and there might be a couple others that I'm forgetting off right now. But the other thing, a big part of the last episode was that Hurley tricked Sawyer into thinking they were having a vote to kick him out of the group. Like, they were going to trick him, or he was tricking him. And at the end, Sawyer finds out, and Hurley's like, "Well, you're going to be you're the leader around here, so you need to step up." So he made him do nice things and made him like understand, like, doing good for the group is good for everybody, and that he needs to step up. And he's like, "Oh, I'm not the leader." He's like, "Well, there's no Jack, Locke's gone, Kate's gone, Saeed's gone. It's like, who else is it going to be? It's going to be you, And then the very next episode, Jack comes back. Saeed comes back. Kate comes back. So why the fuck was that a storyline about Sawyer becoming a leader in that episode? Like, they could have done it in a completely different way, or just like maybe not done it so on the nose. They could have like done a little more subtly, of like Sawyer kind of realizing, he really enjoys being a part of this group, and he doesn't have to be such a dick all the time, not be so sarcastic. You don't have to have Hurley saying you got to be a leader around here, because obviously it leads in like eventually Sawyer becomes a leader and becomes that guy. Season 5, LaFleur, taking care of Miles and Juliet, and who else goes back with him? Jen, and I feel like there was one more person. I know there was like Charlotte, but she dies, and Faraday, but he kind of disappears. Whatever, we'll get there. Like I said, this like there's some decent answers here. Like the reason why Claire was abducted was to, though it's, I guess, basically to put in like a little because women who are on the island cannot get pregnant. So when Claire gets there, she's pregnant and she's able to have the baby. So they gave her like some stuff they were working on. That's what Juliet says. They're giving her stuff to work on so she could actually have the baby and survive. Because, the fetus turns on the mother and basically kills the mother. That's been the problem. That's why Juliet was brought to the island. Apparently they put like a sleeper agent within Claire, so she would get sick. So Juliet would have to save her, and then Juliet has earned the trust of the survivors for doing this. I like the showing the Ethan having to improvise when they find out he's not on the plane and taking Claire, and Julia's like, that's never part of the plan. We were giving her this this thing to like save her, blah 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 blah. Like, it was kind of like neat to kind of have that little wrap up, and it makes sense because there's some answers on that we'll get in this show that make no fucking sense whatsoever. So it's nice that we at least have one that makes complete logical sense. But like I said, Elizabeth Mitchell's great. 8.5. B+ episode. I liked it. One of us. I think, where are we at now? I'm going to say, we're at Catch-22, DOC, and The Brig. Those are going to be my 3. Those are going to be the next 3 episodes. Let's see. Catch-22, DOC. No. Let's say Catch-22, The Brig, then DOC. Let's see, guys. What'd I say? Did I say The Brig? Oh, I was right the first way. Damn it. It is Catch-22, DOC, and The Brig. So I've got Catch-22 is Desmond? Yeah, Catch-22 is Desmond. Yeah, and then DOC. Oh, that's when what's her face shows up. Oh, I can't remember her name. Naomi. Yeah, Naomi shows up in the next episode. Then DOC is Sun, and then The Brig is Sawyer. Yeah. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Lost Rewatch. Like I said, I post these to YouTube as well. Why? I don't know. It's more work on the video stuff, just to kind of get more attuned to doing all that, like the Premiere Pro or whatever. So that's like, if you ever want to check it out on YouTube, you can. Or if you know somebody who dislikes it, it's like, hey, you can go to his YouTube channel and watch him. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, guys. Who cares? Anyways, that also should be it for me tonight. Thank you so much for listening, understanding all the fun stuff. We're an hour and 20 minutes in. I mean, I only talked for 6 hours and 20 minutes on this podcast this week. Oh my God, I am so done talking. I cannot wait to not be back until next Sunday. Like, those long guest episodes do take a lot out of me, man. Like, especially when it's people I haven't seen for a while, because it's like I kind of want to really focus in with them. But yeah, they're fun. I wouldn't trade them for the fucking world. I love it. I love the fact I had Chris up. I love the fact I had Nikki on. Nick, like I said, his episode will be coming this Thursday, so make sure you are ready for that. It is a good time. It is a great time. It is a wonderful time. Make sure you're also checking out the Karaoke Chris episode. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, support anywhere podcasts are available. You can find monster.ate.the.pilot. You can find me on my social media platforms. Like I said, almost everybody who listens to this podcast is friends with me in real life, so you probably have my number. So if you ever have questions or answers, or you just want to be on the show, do whatever, just hit me up, do whatever. But you can also hit up the email, which is monster.ate.the.pilot, the show at gmail.com, periods between each word. And then, yeah, we'll have a great time. Thank you so much once again for listening. I'll see you next week. Stay positive, get better. Go Bruins. Go Bruins. Next week we'll probably have a few, let's see, I think game 1 is Monday. So, if they do it right, hopefully the Bruins are up 3-0 when I record next, or on the way to 3-0 next week. It probably won't be. I think it's like Monday, Wednesday, and I don't think they've announced game 3 yet. But whatever. We'll get there. Root on the North End. We are the North End, Deepdale. Preston North End. Big game tomorrow against Millwall. Hope for a big victory. I will see you next week. I am out. Girl Scout. What's it all about? Fun stuff, rhymes. I am here all the time. Yeah. See ya.